Hey, Alec here. Today is going to be the most in-depth guide on how to avoid Upwork scams that anyone's ever made. In this video, I'm going to share with you the 8 types of scams that Upwork have discovered on their platform with red flags and everything you need to know to avoid them. So it's really important that you know about these scams because although they don't happen that often, the consequences if you get caught in one of these scams can be pretty bad. I mean, you can get your identity stolen, you can get to work and not get paid, and even worse, you can get to work, not get paid, and on top of doing the work for free, you lose money because they steal your money. So the first type of scam that you need to be aware of is called phishing. Phishing is basically when someone tries to pretend they're someone they're not to get your money or personal information so they can further scam you or scam other people. I'll get more into that later. So, for example, the most common thing that happens on Upwork when it comes to phishing is that clients are going to make fake job posts. And what they do after that is that once you apply, they send you a message telling you to contact them on Telegram or other platforms outside of Upwork. It can be just email, it can be anywhere. They want to talk to you outside of Upwork because when they talk to you outside of Upwork, Upwork is not able to see what you two are talking about. And so this allows them to perform their scams and without really being seen. One of the things you need to be really aware of is on Upwork, you're not even supposed to talk with clients outside of the platform unless you already have a contract with the client. You're supposed to keep all communications on the platform, and even when you have a contract with a client, I highly recommend that you stay as much as possible on the platform, especially for the reason that Upwork cannot monitor what's going on outside the platform, and staying on the platform ensures that you can stay safe. So, of course, you don't want to reveal personal information even on the platform. This could still bring trouble for you later if they steal your identity or cause other stuff like blackmailing your friends and family. But keeping communications on the platform does limit the amount of scams that you can be exposed to and how much you get scammed. So, once they start communicating with you on Telegram or email, and remember the name Telegram because Telegram is the #1 most common place they use. Whenever a client asks you to communicate on Telegram, it doesn't mean they're a scammer, but it's a red flag and there's a high likelihood that they are. So they're going to ask you to, for example, fill an ID questionnaire so you can get registered with their business or get your company ID card. These aren't things that you're really supposed to do on Upwork, but these businesses, what they do is they specifically target new freelancers usually who don't really know how Upwork works and who don't really know what they need to do to get jobs and what info they need to fill. And so they can easily be convinced that they need to fill in these questionnaires, and in these questionnaires they're going to ask you, for example, to send your driver's license photos, give them personal information, that sort of thing. Anytime a client asks you to answer a questionnaire with personal information, it's probably a scam. They're not supposed to do that. And then what they can do is they can have you click a link that brings you to a fake Upwork page, a fake copy that they make. And this fake copy of the Upwork website is designed so that when you enter your email, password, and your personal information, actually it doesn't send it to Upwork because it's a fake website. So the scammers will see what you type in on this fake website. They're going to see your username, password. They're going to see any personal information that you enter, and this way they can start doing these identity theft crimes or any other crimes with that information. And be aware, you really want to make sure that they don't get access not just to your personal information, but also to your email passwords, because you don't want them to log into your account. Many scammers, what they do is, I'm going to tell you more about that later, but they get people they get good people's account that don't have that aren't red flagged by Upwork, so they can start doing more scams and doing nefarious activities on your account without a much risk of getting found out by Upwork. So you really want to make sure that they don't get access to these as well, your logins, password, these sort of things. Also, when you click their links, which you shouldn't really do, like, first of all, stay on Upwork, but like if they give you links on email, Telegram, please don't click that. They can also install malware viruses on your computer designed to either like get your information from you, steal your Bitcoin, steal your money, or they can just retarget you with classic computer virus scams where, you know, they plant a fake virus, a real virus technically, or not real, depends, on your computer, and then they're going to call you as a fake company that repairs computer, and they're going to offer their services to, from a distance, remove that fake virus or real virus that they implanted themselves on your computer. Like, these scammers can be incredibly sophisticated, and so be really careful. Like, I think most people know that you shouldn't click links on email, but specifically, that's the sort of thing that can happen with fake jobs on Upwork. So, after they get your personal information, there's a lot of things that they can do, a lot of nefarious things. They can open credit cards in your name. They can carry illegal activities in your name, open bank account. Let me tell you about illegal activities. Like if, for example, they start carrying illegal activities with your name because, you know, they have your personal information and they can like make it seem like it's you, you can get in real trouble for that. Next, they can apply for loans, drain your bank accounts, create large debts in your name. They can steal your accounts, not just your Upwork account, especially if you use the same password and login everywhere. Like, they can really start stealing a lot of your accounts. And if they use malware, they can find maybe others of your passwords, so they can start stealing a lot more of your accounts. Really bad stuff. Worst of all is like the retargeting scams, in my opinion, especially those that target your loved ones, because what they can do is they can keep your information and then either retarget you with another scam later, or more nefarious is they can retarget your loved ones. For example, they can start pretending that they are you and that they are in trouble and they need money. And so one of the worst recent scams that's been made in recent history, one of my friends who is working in AI, he's actually one of the leading AI experts in Canada, he told me that he was really scared about one of the new scams that they were doing. Is that maybe you've heard about deep fakes. You've probably seen deep fakes where they or these new AI apps that fake someone's voice. So you type a text or you talk a text out, and the AI turns your voice into the voice of a celebrity or into someone else's voice. Well, they can do that with your voice if you do some sort of interview with them on Upwork or any other platform, or if you make YouTube videos like me. What they can do is they can then go to your loved ones, call them, and make a call where they pretend to be you with AI, so it sounds exactly like you, and they say things like, "Hey, I'm sorry, like I got kidnapped, or I really need money, like there's some criminals that are gonna break my legs or do weird shit to me," and like they're crying at the same time. It sounds really convincing, and so it tends to be really convincing, so your loved ones are really likely to send them money to these nefarious people. And so really with AI, scams are going to get a lot worse, and it's just starting. But like this sort of scam is really bad, and most of your friends and family probably don't even know that this sort of scam exists. So right now, yeah, be aware of that. Then there's type number 2 is shipping scams. All right, one of the things that there's 2 types of shipping scams. Shipping scams can be either number 1, they can make jobs where they pay you to send packages for them. It's basically a job where you are tasked with shipping a package. It sounds like easy money usually, and sounds like an easy job anyone can do. But what happens is that oftentimes they ask you to send a package. You can't open it, but you don't know it, but there's drugs or illegal things in them. And so when you ship these packages, what happens is that if it gets found at the border, you become you can get into legal trouble, because it's basically you who shipped those drugs and shipped those illegal goods. So you can become involved in criminal activities without really knowing it, just by taking on these shipping jobs. Any job that asks you to ship things, I would stay far away from that on Upwork. You don't want to take that risk. The second type is they may pretend that you need to send them money to receive a package. All right. What's going to happen is that they're going to say, oh, yeah, we're going to send you the equipment and we're going to send you this. And so they're going to ask you to pay to receive the shipping. And usually they're going to ask you to pay for the shipping before you receive the box, right? And there was never a box that was shipped. Like, they don't ship these things. It's just so you send them money for nothing. It's just so it's like a believable reason for you to send them money. Sometimes they even ask you to send them like Steam gift cards or gift cards. Like, it's not always money. Sometimes it's really weird. And also, one of the weird things they can do with that is they sometimes will send you checks or send you money through other means, so that, and what they do is that they basically send you more money, or the amount of money that's needed to pay for the shipment. And so you think, oh, I got the money, or I got more money than I need to pay for it. They give me a tip. It's awesome, perfect. Like, I'm gonna pay the shipment guy. And when you send the money, what happens is afterwards, a couple of days later, your bank account or your banking provider are gonna realize that the payment that you received is actually a fake payment. And so all the funds that you put into your account before you paid that guy, that the money that they sent you, is taken away from your account, because your bank is like, oh yeah, this money that you received doesn't actually exist. So what happens is that you lose the money that you sent and the money that you received, because it was never really real money to begin with. So it's one of those nefarious ways that they get you to send them money. Anytime a client asks you to send them money, even when they have sent you money beforehand, it's probably a scam. And a lot of times what they do is basically, it's not just for shipping. They also do that when they're paying you. For example, they might pay you extra on PayPal or other methods of payment, and so they tell you, oh, I sent you $500 instead of $400. Can you send me back the extra $100? But that's actually fake. And sometimes it's those nefarious projects where it's actually fake money, and like you're like, okay, yeah, they paid me, yay, I did the work, and you did like maybe 30 hours of work, or I don't know how long that project is, and afterwards, a couple of days later, after you send them the money, you realize that the funds are taken out of your account because it was a fake check or fake transfer. And so what happens is that you did the work, you did all those 40 hours, and you lose money because you sent money to those scammers. Like, and you sent them the work, so maybe they're going to use it on top of that. So sometimes these guys are really, really, really disgusting. And I'm going to talk a little bit more about these fake checks, but that's pretty much the gist of it. Type 3 is going to be paid or leased account fraud. A lot of scammers are going to offer to pay to use your account or to borrow your account so they can start to do their illegal activities on your account. You don't want to do that. What can happen is that your account can become stained. You can have a lot less opportunities on Upwork in the future if you do that. But worst of all is that you can become involved in criminal activities because they're going to carry them in your name, and you're going to be kind of their associate in crime in a sense, because you consented to let them use your account, even though maybe you didn't know that they wanted to do illegal activities on that. And letting other people use your account is against Upwork's terms of services. You can get banned. You don't want to do that anyway. Even if they offer to pay you, never let anyone use your account. And remember, like, you don't want them to use your account to get personal information and any information. Like, you can get retargeted with other scams after that. So don't give away your account to anyone. So number 4 is check cashing fraud. They sent you a fake check or a counterfeit check, and then after a couple of days, the money gets taken away from your account. As I said earlier, like, they can send you more money and ask you to send them some money before you realize that the money is taken away from your account. That's called an overpayment scam. And it's usually also linked with shipping scams. Yeah, actually, I said pretty much all I had to say earlier about that. Type number 5 is going to be gift card fraud. A lot of these scammers are going to ask you to send them gift card money, like digital currency, gift cards, like send them codes for Xbox Live cards, codes for Steam cards. It's just a way for them to get money without so much risk of getting found out, and then they sell games they buy with that, or products they buy with that, or just the codes themselves on the gray market. Yeah, it should already be a red flag in your mind that you shouldn't really send gift cards to clients, but like, be aware, like, any client who asks you to send them gift cards is a scammer. Like, probably like 0.0000001% of client who asks you gift cards is not a scammer, but like, yeah, gift card, if you hear gift card, it's probably one of the biggest red flags on the list I'm about to share with you about after I share with you all the 8 types of scams. And sometimes when they ask you to send them these gift card codes, they're really sophisticated. Like, they want to seem like legit people so that you feel like it's okay to send them that money. And sometimes they present themselves as normal business owners, normal people, and then they're going to ask you to send them gift cards with excuses. For example, like, oh, well, in my country, I can't pay for digital currency on Roblox or another gaming site for my kids, and could you please send me a gift card, or things like that. It sounds legit. It sounds like they're normal people, and it's just they don't know who to turn to, and because you're in a country where you can buy that, they're sophisticated. But gift card, you don't do it. You don't send them gift card no matter what. And sometimes it's weird. Sometimes they do shipping scams, and they tell you, oh, you need to pay Xbox Live money to receive your package. Like, sometimes it's really fucking weird. Then there's digital currency fraud, very similar to gift card, because gift cards are often gift cards of digital currency. For example, they might ask you to send them Roblox or Steam or other gaming sites currency, or other digital currencies, or they might try to steal it from you. They can try to steal it from you with malware. As I said earlier, they can install malware to steal your bitcoins or other digital currency. So be really careful about links that you click on. And any time that a client asks you to send cryptocurrencies, that's weird. You shouldn't do that. Type number 7 is free work. Free work is, you might not be aware of that, but it's not even allowed on Upwork. A lot of new freelancers are like, oh, I guess I'll have to do free work. It's hard to get jobs. I guess I'll have to do free work to get my first couple of jobs, or like they get their first client and the client asks them to do a free sample project, and they're like, oh yeah, I guess that's fine. It's a good way to, it sounds good. It sounds like it makes sense, but it's not allowed to do that on Upwork. You're not supposed to do free work. And some of these clients are really, really
bad people. Like sometimes what they do is that, for example, maybe they need to illustrate a book for children. What they can do is just say to 30 freelancers, hey, can you do me one illustration for free just so I can see if you're the right person for me? And so because they asked that to 30 people, they got all the illustrations for their book for free. Like they can do that. Like they never pay anyone. They just get the fucking job done by all those free work people. And you're so excited. You do your best because they promise to pay like $40 an hour or $30 an hour, and you're like, this is an amazing job. It looks like perfect, and like it's 30 illustrations. It's gonna be for a long-term project, and they say they might hire me again for their next book in like a couple of months. This is exactly the type of client you want, but it's just fake. It's just they just pretend they're gonna offer you the best job ever after that free work, but the best job ever they promise never exists. They're never gonna do that. It's just fake so that you do your best work possible for the least amount of money possible, which is zero. And also be aware, like free work is not allowed on Upwork because Upwork makes most of their money from a percentage of the sale. Like the more hours that, the more money that clients pay you, the more money Upwork makes. So they want to make sure that you get paid as much as possible. So another similar, it's not exactly a scam per se, but like it's a bad practice from some clients is instead of asking you to do free test work, a lot of clients are going to ask you to do cheaper test work so they can make sure that you're the right person. So they say the first few projects or the first project is going to be at a lower hourly rate so they can test you, but after that they're going to pay you like the perfect amount that you're looking for or more than average. Like they give you really good hopes and dreams for the future so that you work really hard for not a lot of money. And so, but the thing is that this cheaper test work is the amount of money that they wanted to pay you the whole time. Like the future perfect project with the perfect hourly rate that they promise you never existed. They never intended to do that. They just want you to be motivated and work hard despite the fact that they pay you little money. And sometimes like you're going to try to get more jobs from these people. They might say no, they might say yes, and they're going to just offer you like to keep working at these cheap hourly rates. They never wanted to pay you a lot of money. It's just a way to get you to work hard for cheap. Not a very good business practice, in my opinion. Type number 8 is going to be contract scam. This is really weird. Sometimes you're going to negotiate with a client to get, this is the amount of money that you want to get for this project, and they say yes. And so what's going to happen afterward is they're going to create an Upwork contract, but what happens is that the money they offer you in the contract is lower than the amount of money that you two have agreed upon. So what happens is that they hope that you don't see that the money on the Upwork contract is lower than the money that you two have agreed with beforehand, so that you click yes on the contract, and then you are stuck to do the project for less money than you thought you were going to make. Really scummy practice. Like you negotiated maybe $2,000, you're excited, and you didn't notice that on the project, they may do it hourly so that you don't notice that it's not the same amount, but it's just like $1,800, $1,700 or whatever other amount. It's just really bad practice. But be aware, it happens on Upwork. When you negotiate rates, always make sure before you sign a contract on the platform that the amount that you have agreed upon beforehand is the amount that they're offering you in the contract. So there's many excuses that clients are going to use to get you to send them money, gift cards, digital currency, or information. Here's a list of some of the common excuses that they use. A lot of them might ask you to send them money as a security deposit. I see this often on my other videos on scams. I see that a lot in the comments. A lot of people are like, hey, this security fee, is it real? Should I send them money to pay for the security fee? No, you don't have to send money to clients for any reason on Upwork. Security fees are just a scam. Security deposits, like, no, that's fake. That's just them trying to get your money. Then they sometimes ask you to send information or money to get your premium company ID card so you can start working with their business. This is fake. You don't need to do that on Upwork. Then they might ask you for money for helping themselves or a sick family member or a sick friend, and they say that, hey, I'm really sorry to ask, but can I borrow you money? Like, I'm stuck, I'm not sure who to ask. Like, you know, sometimes they can really touch at your moral compass to get you to feel bad for them and really want to help them. And, you know, they take advantage of the fact that you're good people. Like, that these are the type of people that these scammers are. Sometimes they say, as I said earlier, that their kid wants some money or items in a game that they can't buy in their country, so they ask you to send like gift cards or digital currencies in other methods. Sometimes they send you fake checks for more money than what they were supposed to pay you and ask you to pay that back. But again, those are fake checks, so you're going to lose that money in the future. Sometimes they ask you to pay to receive a package or send a package. And sometimes they're going to ask you to pay to buy equipment. Normally, it's the client's job to buy the equipment. And if you need to buy the equipment, you're not supposed to buy it from them. Like, if you want to buy, for example, your Adobe Photoshop, maybe they're going to give you more money for that, but you're not going to buy it from them. You're going to buy it from Adobe, right? And you're not going to buy it from a link that you click on that they sent you. Like, you're going to go on the Adobe website or whatever tool provider that you have. Like, you never send them money to get your tools or software. Tips to protect yourself. Number one, it's really important to enable two-factor authentication on all of your accounts, not just on Upwork. Like, if they get your password, login, either on Upwork or other places, if you have two-factor authentication on and they need to have access to your cell phone to be able to open these accounts, this is going to save you from a lot of trouble. They're not going to be able to open your account even though they have email, password, logins, all these sort of things. Then you want to keep your devices up to date because it keeps you more protected from malware and spyware and all those things, so you can get also your security patches. Then you want to pay for a good antivirus. Anti-malware software on your computer. Really important. You'd be surprised also how often like you get these spyware, malware if you download things off of the internet. Like, it's really good to have all around, but like, when you're dealing, especially like with clicking links from people you don't know from around the world who are clients on Upwork, like, it's good to have this safety measure, especially when the consequences can be so bad as losing your Bitcoin, losing your crypto, losing your personal identity, getting your family blackmailed by these people, getting your family retargeted by scams and all these other nefarious things that I told you earlier. Really, $100 a year or something like that for that, I think, for me, is a really low amount to be more protected from these things. Then keep all communications on the Upwork platform as much as possible. I understand new freelancers might feel a bit shy about telling clients, oh no, I don't want to talk to you on email or Telegram, and you really hope that it's a real job and you want to follow the client's instructions. But usually, like, you should just tell the client that hey, I'm sorry, you probably are not aware of that, but it's not allowed on Upwork to communicate outside the platform, and I'd really like to follow Upwork's terms of service, so please, I'd like to keep the communications on the platform. If they're a good client, they're gonna say yes. Like, it makes a lot of sense. If they're a bad client, if they say no to that, like, good. Don't work with them. They're probably bad clients. Like, just work with the good people. And, you know, a lot of people are desperate to find clients, and the reason is not that Upwork, it's hard to find clients. It's just that you've never learned how to get clients on Upwork. And so for you, if you're struggling to find clients, I recommend you go check out my tutorial video on how to find clients step by step. I actually made a few of these. You can go check my channel for that. I'm going to put the link in the description to my most in-depth guide on how to get started on Upwork. It's not that hard. It's just that most people don't really know how to do it, and they kind of don't put enough efforts in some really important parts. But once you know how to do it, it becomes a lot easier. So if you're interested, like if you're desperate and you feel like, oh, I want to take a chance with these scammers because I don't know how long it's going to take for me to get my next job. Like, the problem is probably that you don't implement a good strategy, or you don't implement your strategy for finding clients well enough. So just getting a tutorial like the one that I share in the description could help you tremendously with that. Like, you don't need to be desperate to find jobs on Upwork. It's actually not that hard once you know how to do it. Then only get paid through Upwork. Getting paid outside can make you prone to be scammed with overpayment scams. As I said earlier, like, they send you more money and the funds get taken out of your account later. And also be aware, like, you're not even allowed on Upwork to get paid outside of Upwork, because when you do that, they don't get money. Like, they want to make money, and so one of the terms of service is that you stay on the platform and you get paid through the platform. Be aware also that if Upwork finds out that you get paid outside of the platform with a client, they can give you a fine that's multiple thousands of dollars. They can take back a lot of the money that you made that year as compensation for that. Like, it can cost you a shit ton of money if Upwork finds out that you are getting jobs from some people you meet on Upwork outside of Upwork. And it's also important that you use unique passwords, because you don't want to use your passwords for all your accounts in all different websites and platforms. Again, because you don't want scammers to be able to find your email login for one of your accounts and be able to hijack all of your accounts on all the websites. Also, you need to be aware that there are sometimes security breaches on websites, and some scammers or other criminals find your passwords or the passwords of tons of users on that site, and they may reveal them to other criminals or scammers. And so it's a good practice to change your passwords every couple of months to make sure that if there was a security breach, like, you still have a new passwords. Sometimes you're not even aware. Like, there's a site, I think it's called Have I Been Pawned? Have I Been PWND. This website tells you if there's been a security breach where you have an account on one of your email addresses, and like you enter your email address on the site, and it tells you if one of your accounts there was a security breach on one of the websites, so that there's a risk that your account may have been discovered by criminals and may have been shared by them or sold by them to other people, or that they might themselves have started to hijack your account. Also, some jobs on Upwork have badges like interesting job or a featured job, and some clients' accounts have badges like payment verified. All these badges do not mean that the job is a safe job and that it's not a scam. It could be a scam even if it has any of these badges. Then there's a lot of red flags that you can notice on the client's profiles and job posts that can that can signal to your brain that, hey, maybe you should be careful about that client because there's a good chance that they're a scammer. So let me share that with you. First of all, when a client account says that they spent less than $100 on the platform and they have many open jobs, there's a good likelihood that they're the type of client who asks for a lot of free work or are using other scams. Then accounts with names or pictures of celebrities, like maybe Elon Musk or other celebrities, that's probably a scam. Then there's jobs with suspiciously high budgets for something really easy, jobs that look perfect, right? Then there's when clients talk about Telegram. Then there's clients who send you an invitation to a job, an invitation to apply to a job. When you're a new freelancer, listen, clients are not supposed to find your profile when you're a new freelancer. Your profile is not supposed to really appear in search results. They're not supposed to find you. So if they found your website and asked you specifically to apply for the job, that's weird. Normally it takes a certain amount of time before you start appearing search results and start ranking, because Upwork doesn't really want new freelancers' accounts to be easily findable, because they don't know yet if you're a good freelancer or a scammer or someone who does bad work or all these sort of bad things, and they want to make sure that clients have a good experience. So they want to make sure that they don't risk clients having a bad experience by showing them the profiles of new freelancers like you. So you have to be patient. Don't expect client to come to you when you're new to Upwork. You have to go to clients unless you use Project Catalog. But yeah, if clients ask you to send you these invitations when you have a new profile and it's not through Project Catalog, it's weird. Then there's clients who ask you to fill or sign an employment agreement. That's weird. Then there's clients who insist on communicating outside of Upwork. It's even more suspicious if they tell you to contact their HR department or manager. If you hear any of these words, like red flag. Then there's clients who reply impossibly fast. A lot of clients, what they do, fake clients, these scammers, use bots to answer. And so sometimes you're going to receive a paragraph of text that's sent 2 seconds after you sent your reply. It's impossible for anyone to write that fast. That's probably a scam, right? It's probably a scammer. Then there's when clients have joined Upwork on the same day that on the day that you are right now, doesn't mean that they're a scammer. Sometimes they're really legit clients who just create an account and offer a job post on the same day. But just be aware that if they start showing other of these red flags on top of that, that's just be mindful of that. Then there's clients who make a lot of duplicate job posts, like they make the same job post multiple times, probably a scam. Then there's job posts where it looks like they're not really trying to filter out people. It looks like they're trying to sell you on getting the job. Like it's a job that looks like the perfect job, easy to do, pays a lot of money, probably a long-term job, like everything you've ever wanted. And it's not like they're, the type of job that they probably are going to receive a ton of job applications. Like a ton of people are going to want that job. And weirdly, that client doesn't seem to be in the job post trying to say, oh, we don't want this sort of people. We absolutely need you to have all these qualifications. We want this. Instead, they're like, hey, you really should get that job. Like, here's all the perks. Here's all that we're going to give you. And it looks like a sales pitch, not something like, it's not a text where they're telling you, here's what we don't want. Here's what you need to have, right? Which is weird, because a real client who offers these perfect jobs, they're going to probably receive way more job applications than they need. So the last thing they want is to get more people, because that's going to take too much time to look at all their profiles. What they need actually is to get less people to apply so they can just have the best people possible and filter out through and make sure that bad freelancers don't even apply. So yeah, if it looks like it's trying to sell you as the perfect job and everything, it's probably a scam. Then there's when clients ask specifically for new freelancers. Why? It's probably a scam, right? They want new freelancers because you don't know yet how Upwork works. So you're more likely to fall into one of these scams. If a client asks specifically for new freelancers, that's probably a scam. Then there's when clients ask to see your password or ID cards. I can't believe people fall for that, but yeah, no doubt, it's a scam designed to get your personal information. All right. One thing you need to be aware of is that a lot of scammers try to impersonate real companies. Like, it's a type of phishing. But, if you receive an email from a client, or you work with a client and it says the name of their account is the name of a real company, and you look at that company maybe in the US or your country or whatever, and looks like a real company. You can find them on Google. They have a lot of tons of good reviews. It doesn't mean that the scammer who pretends to be this company is really that company. And sometimes they're going to make you trust that they're that company by sending you an email from that company's email address, right? It's going to be an email address, maybe like, for example, maybe the name of the company is Paladin Bookstore, maybe, right? So maybe you're going to receive an email from John at paladinbookstore.com. It doesn't mean that this email really comes from Paladin Bookstore. Actually, a lot of businesses, what happens is that they don't set up their email security properly, and scammers can easily send emails pretending to be them from their email address, right? So even if you receive an email that looks legit from a company that you can find on Google that is legit, it doesn't mean that it's that company who sends it. These scammers specifically look for all these companies that look legit, that are legit, but that don't have good email security so that they can do this sort of scam. If you have been scammed and you want to share your story in the comments to help people not fall into the same scams and share your experience, I highly recommend you to do so. I think it's very valuable for the community, and it also helps the video rank higher. Also, if there are more scams that get discovered, I'm going to try to make more videos about these. So if you want to see these videos when they come out, or if you want to see guides that I make on how to succeed on Upwork, you're going to want to subscribe and hit the notification bell so that you notice these videos when they come out. With that, I hope you found this guide helpful, and I'll see you in my next videos. Take care.